No, hello, fuck you. Excuse you. Yeah, excuse you. I'm not pressing nothing. You press it. You sit there, you take a human's job, you take over our infrastructure, and then you want me to help you out? Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Press it yourself.
Society is changing fast, and AI is quickly laying claim to categories of work that only humans could do. The last time this happened was during the digital automation wave in the 2000s to 2010s. During this time, enterprise software, robotic process automation, and cloud services took over basic customer service, inventory management, and translation tasks. Before that, the 90s saw automated data entry, bookkeeping, and basic analytical tasks that were previously performed manually by clerks and mathematicians taken away by computers and software. In the Industrial Revolution, 1760 to 1840, your great-great-great was probably a skilled artisan who had his job stolen by power looms, steam-powered factories, and assembly line production. And let's not forget the printing press of the mid-15th century, which shifted the labor of manuscript copying from scribes to machine-driven printing, which reduced the need for handwritten texts. This is nothing new, but if we don't study history, every major change feels like the sky is falling just because we fail to see the patterns. In this video, I want to show you how to survive the great job displacement. You will learn where to focus your attention so that AI becomes an asset for you instead of being replaced by it. Everyone is panicking because we don't know how to use AI. Just like how everyone was panicking back in the 90s when computers entered the workforce. It's the same pattern happening again and again. But history again and again has taught us that displacement is not a threat, it's an opportunity. This is what everyone is failing to see. The jobs that disappear are the ones that were always meant to be automated. The jobs that survive and become more valuable are the ones that require uniquely human abilities. And you can develop those abilities right now. Here's how to take advantage of this shift. First, let's talk about why AI is actually good for humanity. So we'll start with a pattern. Every major technological shift in history has displaced workers. The printing press displaced scribes. The steam engine displaced artisans. Computers displaced clerks. The internet displaced entire industries. And every single time, people panicked. They thought it was the end. They thought their skills would become worthless. They thought society would collapse. They were wrong. Here's what actually happened. They were repetitive, low skill, and didn't require human judgment. Machines were much better at them, so machines took over. That's just capitalism doing what capitalism does. But something else happened too. New jobs emerged. Jobs that didn't exist before. Jobs that required uniquely human abilities, creativity, judgment, presence, care. The printing press didn't end human work. It freed humans from copying manuscripts so they could become editors, publishers, and writers. The steam engine didn't end human work. It freed humans from manual labor so they could become engineers, designers, and managers. This is the pattern that keeps repeating. Displacement, liberation, better outcomes. We're already seeing this with AI. Yes, some jobs are disappearing. Customer service reps are being replaced by chatbots. Data entry clerks are being replaced by automation. These are the jobs that were always meant to be automated. But look at what's emerging on the other side. Protein folding, the method by which we discover cures for disease, which used to take years, now takes weeks. Researchers who used to spend their time on computational grunt work can now spend their time on novel discoveries. That's liberation. Medical imaging that used to require hours of manual analysis can now be processed in minutes. Radiologists who used to spend their time on routine scans can now spend their time on complex cases and patient care. That's liberation. Code that used to take weeks to write can now be generated in hours. Developers who used to spend their time on coding the same things over and over again can now spend their time on architecture and novel problems. Again, that's liberation. This is the real story of AI, not robots taking our jobs. But machines are taking the work we never wanted to do so we can focus on the work that matters. But here's where most people get stuck. They see displacement and panic. They don't see the liberation on the other side. They don't see the opportunity, because there is an opportunity, and it's bigger than any of the previous tech shifts. For the first time in history, we have a tool that can handle most of the cognitive work. That means the premium on uniquely human abilities such as judgment, taste, presence, and care is about to skyrocket. The jobs that survive won't be the ones that compete with AI on speed or efficiency. They'll be the ones that require something AI fundamentally cannot do. And here's the good news. You can develop those abilities right now. This is where AI fails and you can fill the gap. Despite its immense capabilities, AI lacks three critical things. First, it has no body. It can't interact with the physical world. A surgeon can feel the resistance of tissue. A carpenter can sense when wood is ready to be shaped. A coach can read the tension in an athlete's muscle and adjust in real time. AI exists only in the cloud. Second, it has no lived experience. It cannot understand what it means to be human. It has never felt pain, loss, fear, or joy. Ask ChatGPT about grief and it will give you a beautiful answer constructed from thousands of passages from other people about grief that it has seen. But it has never felt grief. It has no reference point for human suffering. This matters because understanding requires lived experience. You cannot truly comprehend something you've never experienced. Third, it has no intrinsic motivation. It cannot want anything. It will optimize for whatever metric you give, but it doesn't care about the outcome. It won't lose sleep over a failed project. It won't feel pride in a bold creative choice. It won't stake its reputation on something unconventional. Desire drives quality. Desire drives innovation. Desire drives you to iterate, to fail, to learn, to improve. AI has none of that. And within those three gaps lies something important for you: the ability to exercise taste. Because AI is fundamentally limited to pattern matching against existing data, it can only optimize within known parameters. It can tell you what works according to established principles, but the biggest breakthroughs in creative work, medicine, leadership, coaching don't come from following the rules. They come from people who understand the rules deeply enough to know when to break them. And more importantly, the courage and motivation to bet their reputation on it. This is taste. Taste is not something you can download. It's built from thousands of hours of exposure, emotional intelligence about what resonates with people, and the willingness to take risks. It's the ability to feel when something is right, even if it breaks conventional rule. The clearest examples of this come from creative work where breaking the rules is the entire game. I'm going to give you 3 examples that prove this principle. Flappy Bird. Do you remember that? The rule: games should be fair. It should ease you in, teach you the mechanics, let you win a few times before things get hard. Flappy Bird ignored all of that. It punched you in the face immediately. 1 tap to make the bird fly, 1 tap to avoid the pipes. That's it. Brutally simple, but brutally hard. But here's what the creator understood that the entire mobile gaming industry missed. Struggle breeds investment. Because the game was so hard, yet so simple, you couldn't blame the game when you lost. You blamed yourself. That I almost had it feeling. That's what made it addictive. Players were so hooked, the game made $50,000 per day in advertising revenue alone. And AI could analyze thousands of games and tell you what works. Progression curves, difficulty scaling, reward schedules. It could optimize for engagement based on existing data, but it couldn't feel that the unfairness itself was the hook. It couldn't sense that players would interpret their own failure as motivation rather than frustration. That required intuition about human psychology that goes way beyond pattern matching. TikTok, the rule: social media is social. You follow people you know. You see content from your friends. To get noticed, you have to build a following. TikTok killed that rule. The algorithm didn't care who you were or who you followed. It watched what you liked and fed you more of it. It turned the entire social part of social media into a pure entertainment machine. The creators understood something Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube didn't, which is people don't actually want to see their friends. They want to be entertained. They want to lose 2 hours scrolling without thinking about it. They want the algorithm to do the thinking for them. An AI could analyze social media platforms and tell you what drives engagement, connections, notifications, FOMO. It could optimize for those metrics, but it couldn't sense that the removal of social obligation was actually more addictive than the connection itself. That required understanding human desire at a level deeper than data. Liquid death. The rule: water is healthy. Water ads should reflect that. Mountains, purity, wellness, yoga retreats. Liquid death went the opposite direction. Skulls, beer cans, darkness. They realized something the entire beverage industry overlooked. People don't want to drink water like they're at a yoga retreat. They want to drink water and still look cool. They want identity. They want vibe. The creator understood that people buy identity, not products. That a can of water with the right aesthetic is more desirable than a can of water with the right messaging. He understood that you can sell literally anything if you give it the right vibe. Liquid death is valued at $1.4 billion. An AI could analyze beverage marketing and tell you what sells: health benefits, lifestyle aspirations, emotional appeals. It could optimize messaging based on what's worked before, but it couldn't sense that liquid death's irreverence could be a selling point. I mean, come on, how could AI come up with anything as creative as liquid death? It has no personality. It's never been to a death metal concert. It just doesn't have the creativity within it, and that's where you, the human being, comes in. That required taste. That's the accumulated understanding of what resonates with a specific tribe, combined with the willingness to alienate everyone else. What do these three things have in common? Each one required something that AI fundamentally cannot do, which is understand what humans want, not what the data says they should want. Flappy Bird's creator understood that struggle itself is the reward. TikTok's creators understood that entertainment beats connection. Liquid Death's creator understood that identity beats health messaging. None of these insights came from analyzing data. They came from intuition, from someone who had enough time in their field to feel what would resonate, combined with the courage to bet their reputation on it. An AI could have been given all the data in the world. It could have analyzed every successful game, every social media platform, every breakthrough brand, but it would have optimized within those parameters. It would have created something that should work, but it would have never created Flappy Bird. It could have never created TikTok. It could have never created Liquid Death, because these weren't optimizations, they were bets. They were rule breaks. They required someone to look at the conventional wisdom and say, I think you're wrong. I think people want something different and I'm willing to bet on it. That's judgment. That's taste. That's the ability to exercise the three gaps we talked about earlier. A body that's been in the world long enough to develop intuition, lived experience that understands human desire, and intrinsic motivation to create something that matters. This is what AI cannot replicate. And this is what makes you irreplaceable. So where does that leave you? You have a body, you have lived experience, you have intrinsic motivation, you have the ability to develop taste, to exercise judgment, and to take risks that matter. The question isn't whether you're irreplaceable, the question is where are you replaceable? Because not all jobs require taste. Not all careers demand rule break. Some roles are still vulnerable to AI, but others, the ones that require judgment, intuition, and skill in the game, are becoming even more valuable. Next, we'll map out which careers are AI proof, and more importantly, I'll show you exactly what you need to develop to win in these fields. By the way, if you're still here, I'm guessing you're someone like me who likes to have deep, interesting conversations such as this. And if that's the case, consider subscribing to this channel, or at least dropping a like on this video so that my videos can continue to pop up in your feed and we can have more interesting dialogues such as this in the future. All right, let's continue. Now we're going to talk about AI-proof careers and what it takes to win in these fields. Remember, the question isn't if you're irreplaceable, it's where you're irreplaceable. Let's start with the jobs that seem vulnerable. The ones where AI can do the work. Video editing, UI, UX design, copywriting, graphic design, software development, marketing. These fields have been flooded with AI tools that can generate, edit, and optimize at scale. But here's what's actually happening. Commodity work is disappearing, and the creative layer is becoming more valuable. What do I mean by that? AI can edit a video. It can color correct, cut, add transitions, sync audio, but it cannot decide what the story of the video will be. It cannot feel the pacing. It cannot know when to break the rules of editing to create an emotional impact. The editor who uses AI to handle the grunt work and focuses on creative direction will outcompete the editor who does everything manually. An AI can design a UI. It can generate layouts. It can follow design principles, optimize for usability, but it cannot create something that just feels right. It cannot design for a specific tribe of people. It cannot make a bold aesthetic choice that alienates some users and delight others. The designer who uses AI to generate options and focuses on taste will outcompete the designer who designs everything from scratch. The same logic applies to copywriting, graphic design, software development, and marketing. The commodity layer is being automated. The creative layer, judgment, taste, the willingness to break rules, is becoming the only thing that matters. But there's another category of careers, the ones that were always AI proof, the ones that require a body, lived experience, and intrinsic motivation from day one. Personal trainers, teachers, early childhood educators, blue collar workers such as electricians, plumbers, carpenters, construction workers, etc. These jobs require embodied skill. They require presence. They require someone to read the room, adjust in real time, and care about the outcome. A personal trainer can feel the tension in your muscles and adjust your form. A teacher can read a student's confusion and explain it differently. An electrician can diagnose a problem by touch and experience. AI cannot do any of that. Not yet, maybe not ever. These jobs are safe, but they're not just safe, they're becoming more valuable. As AI handles more cognitive work, the premium on human presence, embodied skill, and genuine care is rising. All right, so you know where you're irreplaceable, but knowing where the opportunities lie is only half the battle. The real question is, how do you develop on these skills? The answer is the same across all of them. The real question is, what do you actually need to develop in this field? Okay, first, embodied skill. This is deep domain expertise. It's the thousands of hours you spend in your field. For a personal trainer, it's understanding biomechanics so deeply that you can feel when someone's form is off. For a YouTube editor, it's understanding pacing and storytelling so deeply that you instinctively know when a cut should land. For a carpenter, it's understanding wood and your tools so deeply that you can sense when and how to carve it. AI can learn patterns, but it cannot develop the intuition that comes from doing something thousands of times. You can. The second skill is presence and attention. This is the ability to read a situation and adjust in real time. For a teacher, it's noticing when a student is confused and changing how she explains a concept. For a designer, it's watching how users interact with their work and sensing what needs to change. For a manager, it's reading the room and knowing when to push back and when to support. AI can analyze data, but it cannot be present in the moment. You can. The third skill is genuine care and investment. This is skin in the game. It's the willingness to stake your reputation on your work. For a personal trainer, it's genuinely wanting your clients to transform their bodies. For a copywriter, it's caring that your words actually move people. For an entrepreneur, it's betting your own money and time on your vision. AI has no reputation at stake. It genuinely doesn't care if you fail, but you do. The fourth is taste and judgment. This is the ability to just know what's good. It's the accumulated understanding of what resonates with people combined with the courage to break the rules when it matters. For a designer, it's knowing when a layout feels right even if it breaks conventions. For a marketer, it's sensing what message will actually land with your audience. For a president, it's making the call that others are afraid to make. AI can optimize within known parameters, but it cannot feel when something is right. You can. The fifth is AI tool mastery. This is the ability to leverage AI as a tool instead of being replaced by it or fearing it. It's knowing what AI is good at, pattern matching, optimization, generation, and what it's bad at, judgment, taste, genuine understanding. For a YouTube editor, it's using AI to handle color correction so you can focus on storytelling. For a software engineer, it's using AI to generate boilerplate code so you can focus on architecture. For a marketer, it's using AI to test variations so you can focus on strategy. The people who will win in this new world aren't the one who just ignore AI and hope it will go away or hope they'll pull the plug. No, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. The ones who will win are the ones who use AI to amplify their unique human abilities. These 5 abilities are non-negotiable. They're what separate the irreplaceable from the replaceable. And the good news is that they're all learnable. And all of them are within your reach right now. You just need to go out and learn them. So next question is naturally, are you going to develop on them or not? Okay, so let's get more practical here. This is how you actually use AI. One thing you need to understand is that AI is not your enemy. It's your friend. It's your training partner. Most people fear AI. They see it as their replacement, but that's not how we should look at it. As I've said before, AI is a tool for amplifying your unique human abilities if you know how to use it. Use AI to handle what it's good at so you can focus on only what you can do. AI is exceptional at pattern matching, generation, and optimization. These are called commodity tasks. Let it do them. But AI is terrible at taste, understanding, and judgment. These are human tasks. Own them. Now I'm going to talk about how to apply these to the 5 skills I just mentioned. So first, for embodied skill, use AI to compress the learning curve so you can practice more. A personal trainer doesn't use AI to replace coaching. They use it to generate workout templates faster so they have more time to study biomechanics deeply and practice reading the client's body and movement in real time. A software developer doesn't use AI to replace thinking. They use it to generate boilerplate code faster so they have more time to solve novel architectural problems. A designer doesn't use AI to replace design. They use it to generate layout variations faster so they have more time to study great design and develop their eye. So the strategy is to compress the commodity work and invest that extra time in deepening your skills. For presence and attention, use AI to surface what matters, then use your presence to interpret it. A teacher can use AI to analyze student performance data, but then uses their presence to notice which students are struggling emotionally. A manager uses AI to summarize team feedback, but then uses their presence to read the room and know what people actually need. A coach uses AI to track metrics, then uses their presence to sense when an athlete is mentally fatigued. The strategy is to let AI find the signal and use your presence to understand what it actually means. For genuine care and investment, use AI to expand your capacity but keep yourself responsible for the outcome. A copywriter can use AI to generate variations, but they can A/B test to see which ones actually move people. A designer can use AI to generate options, but they personally choose which one feels right. An entrepreneur can use AI to test ideas, but they personally decide which ones to scale with their own resources. AI multiplies what you can do. Your judgment decides what you should do. For taste and judgment, use AI to expand your options, then use your taste to make the final call. A video editor uses AI to generate color grades, then chooses the one that serves the story. A marketer uses AI to generate copy variations, then chooses the one that resonates with their audience. A general manager uses AI to model scenarios, then makes the judgment call that others are afraid to make. AI gives you more to choose from. Your taste is what makes the final decision matter. For AI tool mastery, use AI to understand its boundaries. Learn what it's genuinely good at, pattern matching, generation, optimization, and what it fundamentally cannot do. Again, judgment, caring, understanding. Spend time experimenting. Try different prompts, different models. See what works and what doesn't. Know when to use it and when to do the work yourself. Mastery is knowing when to use the tool and also when to put it down. Going into this new economy, there will be 2 types of people. The ones who I said earlier who will bury their heads hoping this AI thing will go away. They'll try to fight the change as much as possible, but it's not going to work out well for them. And there's the other camp of people who will use AI in the way I just said to enhance their human abilities, to become more creative, more knowledgeable, more resourceful. They will become so powerful that they will outcompete the people who choose to ignore it. It's like trying to compete with someone who uses a typewriter to type up documents versus someone who uses Microsoft Word. The question is, which one are you going to be? That's it for this video. Let me know if you agree with any of the conclusions I stated in this video, or if there's anything you'd like to add, just drop it in the comments. And if this video made you think differently about AI and the future of work, then you should definitely check out my next video on how to kill your smartphone addiction. If you want to be able to think deeper, think better, and take back control of your life and your attention, definitely watch that next.